walked into the office on a Tuesday morning and saw my supervisor, Brenda, holding my quarterly performance review like it was a piece of trash she had found on the sidewalk. She didn't even wait for me to sit down before she told me that my output was becoming a liability for the department and that I seemed completely checked out. I had spent the last 3 months working 60 hours a week to cover for 2 people who had quit, and hearing her say I wasn't trying hard enough felt like a physical blow to the chest. The room felt suddenly small and hot as I looked at the woman who had approved my overtime every single week without a word of thanks. I felt a surge of cold, jagged disbelief wash over me as I realized that my dedication had been twisted into a reason to punish me. Brenda had always been a manager who preferred numbers over people, but she knew exactly how much weight I had been carrying for the team. I was the one who stayed until 9 p.m. to fix the coding errors in the client portal, while she was out at long networking lunches. I realized in that moment that she wasn't actually looking at my work. She was looking for a scapegoat because the department's overall numbers were down due to her own poor hiring decisions. By attacking my effort, she was trying to create a paper trail to justify why I wouldn't be getting the raise she had promised me 6 months ago. It was a calculated, cruel move to save her own bonus at the expense of my reputation and my mental health. Since you think my effort is so low, Brenda, why did you personally sign off on my 40 hours of overtime for every single week this month? I asked, leaning across the desk to point at the digital logs on her screen. She tried to stammer something about quality versus quantity, but I didn't let her finish the thought. I pulled out my tablet and showed her the direct feedback from our 3 biggest clients, all of whom had sent emails specifically thanking me for saving their accounts after Brenda had ignored their calls. I asked her if she wanted me to forward those emails to the regional director right now so we could get a second opinion on what real effort looks like. Her face went from a confident, smug red to a pale, sickly shade of gray as she realized I had kept every single receipt. I didn't wait for her to apologize or try to fix the review. I stood up and told her that if my effort was such a liability, she should have no problem letting me go immediately. I walked straight to the Human Resources office and handed in my resignation, citing a hostile work environment and providing the documentation of my uncompensated work and Brenda's verbal abuse. The HR director looked horrified as she read through the client testimonials and the overtime logs I had printed out. I left the building within the hour, feeling a massive weight lift off my shoulders as I realized I was finally free from a woman who viewed my hard work as a weakness to be exploited. I ended up getting a job at a rival firm within 2 weeks, and they started me at a salary that was 20% higher than what Brenda had been refusing to pay me. I heard through the grapevine that Brenda's department fell apart within a month of my departure because no one else was willing to do the work of 3 people for the price of 1. She was eventually placed on a performance plan herself and ended up being demoted to an entry-level role in a different city. I learned that you can't work hard enough to satisfy someone who is determined to see you fail. I am much more appreciated in my new role now, and I make sure to set firm boundaries so that my effort is never taken for granted again.